Strait of Hormuz is only 21 miles wide at its narrowest point, but through this narrow corridor flows nearly 20% of the world's oil supply. And now it is once again at the center of global tension. Iran has announced military drills and temporarily restricted maritime movement in parts of the strait. At the same time, naval vessels from China, Russia, and the United States are operating in or near the same waters. This is not routine, this is strategic positioning. The Strait of Hormuz connects the Persian Gulf to global markets. Saudi oil, Emirati exports, Qatari LNG all pass through this channel before reaching Asia, Europe, and beyond. Any disruption here doesn't stay regional. It moves instantly into global energy prices, insurance premiums, and financial markets. Iran understands this leverage. For Tehran, the strait is not just geography, it's deterrence. The ability to threaten closure gives Iran strategic weight far beyond its economic size. Even signaling disruption can move oil prices upward, creating pressure on Western economies. But this time, the situation is more complex. China and Russia have increased naval cooperation with Iran under joint maritime exercises. Officially, these drills focus on maritime security. Unofficially, they demonstrate something larger, a multipolar naval presence in one of the world's most critical trade arteries. China depends heavily on Gulf energy imports. Stability in Hormuz is essential for Beijing, yet China's growing alignment with Iran signals a broader shift from passive economic partner to strategic stakeholder. Russia, facing Western sanctions and isolation, benefits from global instability in energy markets. Higher oil prices strengthen Moscow's revenue streams. Naval coordination with Iran sends a message. Russia is still a global actor, even in waters historically dominated by the United States. And then there is Washington. The U.S. Fifth Fleet has long ensured freedom of navigation in the Gulf. For decades, American naval dominance kept Hormuz open. But today, that dominance is no longer uncontested. The presence of Chinese and Russian ships in proximity creates a new layer of risk, not necessarily direct conflict, but miscalculation. This is no longer a simple US-Iran standoff. It is a multi-power chessboard, a drone incident, a misinterpreted maneuver, or an aggressive inspection could escalate quickly, not because anyone wants war, but because the margin for error is shrinking. Markets understand this. Even temporary restrictions in the strait can trigger volatility in oil futures, shipping costs, and global equities. Energy security is national security, and Hormuz sits at the center of that equation. But here is the deeper shift. The Strait of Hormuz is becoming a symbol of a changing global order. For decades, global trade operated under a largely US secured maritime system. Today, alternative power centers are testing that structure. Naval drills are not just exercises, they are signals. Signals that global choke points are no longer uncontested. Signals that multipolar competition has moved from land to sea. Signals that economic leverage is as powerful as military force. The Strait of Hormuz will likely remain open. No major power truly benefits from a full closure, but the risk premium, political, economic, strategic, is rising. And in geopolitics, rising risk changes behavior. Conclusion: this moment is not about a temporary naval drill. It is about control of global arteries, about who guarantees trade, about who absorbs the shock when systems break. The Strait of Hormuz is not just a waterway, it is a pressure valve for the global economy. And right now, the pressure is building. This is Masterkey Global.